Hello everybody, this is Dan, our Crazy Bad Cuber, and I've decided that I would like to be faster at 3x3. Now, I don't really put in a lot of effort into getting faster. I put in a lot of effort to make my videos better, but as far as the speed cuber go, I basically learn something, I maintain it. And then I have an epiphany, or I learn something, and then I maintain that speed. And I don't really just actively try to be better. But now I want to. So the first step I've taken is to learn more OLLs. Now, I already knew half of them. I've learned another 6 in the last few days, and it's going well. Hopefully, my 14-second average will drop to 13 by learning all of the OLLs. Execution and recognition also takes into factor, and only time will help with that. One of the biggest things that I want to learn is cross to F2L transition, so there's no breaks. You learn all of that and you memorize all of that in your inspection. Now, I can do it in about a minute time, and then I can do it blind. I'd like to make that down to 15 seconds if I could, so I can actually apply it to speed solving. I learned this technique from JPerm's video. Links at the top of the description to that video. It is an excellent tutorial. He is a very good teacher when it comes to cubing. Very clear, very concise, and I really appreciate the work he puts into it. So I am going to kind of just show you, give you the gist of what that's about. I still recommend you watch that video and how I apply it. And I'm very slow at it. And I'd like your guys' input, if you can, and tell me how I might be able to just memorize things better, or if there's a different technique I could try, because I've really only found his technique, but it seems really, really good. And he's a great cuber, so it makes sense that it would work. So the cube I'm going to be using is the Angstrom GAN 356X. Spoiler alert, it's amazing, but the review is coming soon, and I have a scramble here. We're going to be using this scramble just because I've already checked it out and it seems fairly easy for the cross, so it'll give us an easy example, and then we'll just do a random one, which I have absolutely no idea what it's going to look like. And we're also going to use a paper to kind of demonstrate what we're doing. Okay, so go ahead and pause that because it's about to get blurry. Okay, so this is a very easy scramble. So basically the way this works, how you find your first F2L pair during your inspection is you kind of write down or mentally take note of the notation used in order to fix your cross, and then use that notation to find out where your first F2L pair is going to land. At least the corner. I started with the corner, and I can get this usually in about a minute. I'd like to get it down to 15 seconds. So we're going to write down how I would do this. The first thing I would do is a D prime to kind of put this in orientation with these. So let's write down D prime. So that's a D prime. And now I'm going to do an R prime, and we're going to do an L. So L. We're going to do a D to fix those three. And then we're going to do another L. So that is our solution. So the whole goal is to find a corner that's going to end up in the top layer, if any. So let's go ahead and track this red piece using this algorithm and see what happens. So D prime doesn't affect it, R prime doesn't affect this, an L puts it down here, and then a D puts it here, and then an L doesn't affect it. So it's going to end up here. So that's not good. Let's try this one here. D prime doesn't affect it, R prime doesn't affect it, L puts it here, D prime doesn't affect it, L puts it here. That's not good either. Let's try this one right here. So that is a D prime will put it here, and R prime puts it back here, L doesn't affect it, and then a D puts it here, and an L puts it here. So that's where it's going to end up. So we know where the corner is going to end up. So that's good. Now let's find out where the edge is going to end up. So a D doesn't affect it. R prime puts it up here. LDL doesn't affect it. So I know that the green is going to be here and the orange is going to be here. We should also keep note of where the white sticker, or your bottom color, in this case mine is white, is going to end up when we do this. Right? So D prime puts it here, the white sticker. R flips it, puts it here. L doesn't do anything. A D puts it here, and then an L puts it up here. So this is actually really good because when this is already going to be oriented, right? So now becomes a very easy case. So now I know my first one already. And because it's oriented wrong, I know exactly how I'm going to put that F2L pair together and where it goes as well. So that's actually really, really easy. So let's go ahead and do this and see if we are correct. And we are correct because here they are there. So match it up, in it goes. So now let's try another one where we don't have an easy scramble generated and see what happens. So this was our previous scramble. Let's just generate a new one. I mean, it may be easy, I don't know, but let's go ahead and scramble it together if you want. I'm not sure if you want to follow along or not, but okay, so it is fairly easy, but it's still going to be good. It's still going to be good, guys. All right, so orange is matched, red is matched, green is already in the bottom. So the first thing I'm going to do is a D2. So before we write it down, let's see if we can just memorize it, because this is just for purposes, and we're going to do it again, but let's just see if we can memorize this. So we're going to do a D2, and we're going to do an L prime. So D2, L prime, U, R prime F. D2, L prime, U, R prime F, right? So D2, yeah. D2, L prime, U, R prime, F. So D2, L prime, U, R prime, F. So that took me probably 6 seconds to memorize that. When I solve and I don't do any of this process, I basically just see it and then I go. And that's how I'm able to do it in just a few seconds. So let's see what happens to this corner when I do that. D2 doesn't affect it. L prime doesn't affect it. U puts it right here. And I'm also keeping track now of where the white is already. So the white goes here. R prime doesn't affect it. And then an F puts it here. So it's basically the same. It's just twisted like this. So that's good. Let's find the edge, which is right here. So it's back here. D2 puts it in front, and the red part goes in front. L doesn't affect that. U doesn't affect that. R prime doesn't affect that. And an F puts it here. So the red side goes here. So that's actually perfect because I think that is... that's not going to be too good, but we can deal with that. So let's see if we're right. Corner here, twisted, and the red side is going to be on the front right here. So let's do that. No, there we go. So that is perfect. Already ready for insertion. You know what? I want to do one more just because I'm having fun with this, guys. So again, there's a scramble we just did. Let's generate another one and let's go. All right. This one is a little bit more tricky, so that's good. Okay, so how I would execute this one is I would do... Let's see if I can do it without this. This is the thing. Now I can if I have more time. So I do an F, R prime, that puts those there. F, R prime, D, R, L prime, D. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so let's write that down. So let's do an F, R prime, okay, what was it? F, R prime, D, R, L, L prime, sorry, and then D again. Hopefully that's correct. Okay, so what's going to affect this piece here? F's going to put it here, which puts white there. R prime puts it up down here, actually. D is going to put it here, and R is going to put it in front, and then it's going to stay in the bottom layer from there. So that's not good. Let's see this one. Now, see, this one's connected here, but I'm not great at X cross, so I'm just trying to find a corner. That's all I'm trying to find right now. So F doesn't do anything. R prime puts it here, the white. D doesn't do anything. R puts it back, and then those do nothing. So this stays where it is. Now, does this edge stay where it is as well? I think it might. So F doesn't do anything to that. R prime puts it down here with this. D doesn't do anything. R puts it back. LD. So that is the first one here. So that's really good. So I know that after I execute this cross, I'm going to be doing a cube rotation and putting it in the back. Or I can put it in the front, but I prefer to insert in the back because that helps me look ahead to my next pair better. All right, so let's go and make sure that this goes good and that this does stay where it is. And then hopefully I've done this correctly. Yep, I did. And then from here, it's just really, it's like a super simple F2L after that as well. See, I can already tell that if I got good at this, that my times would be better. All right, guys, so you see that I'm slow at finding it, but I get it. I do get it. Now, I talked to Monkey Dude 1313 about this as well, and he says, I said, how do you memorize these things, man? Like you just do it in your head, right? And he's kind of like learning to do this stuff himself. He's knew it quite a bit in the past, apparently, but he said he sounds it out, right? So FRD, RLD, Ferd, Earled. Ferd Earled. The next one, D2LURF, Dlurf. Something like that, you know, DRLDL, Dirldl. Who knows? That's his method. Do you guys have methods to do this, or you just, is it just practice, guys? Is it just a lot of practice to be able to do that? Please let me know. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.